Alright, so just a quick tip about how to highlight text on a video clip or on an image inside of Premiere Pro. So I'm not talking about creating text in Premiere Pro and then highlighting that, but actually highlighting text on a video clip or on an image that you're using in your project. Like in this example, I have the back of a GoPro here with some text on it, and I'll just play this for you. And I wanted to highlight a piece of this text, just like that. So that's what we're talking about doing. You've got text on a clip, and you want to highlight it. I'm going to show you how to do that. Alright, so I've got my image, and I know the text that I want to highlight. These first 7 words of that paragraph. So what I'm going to do is highlight that clip, and I'm going to go into my effects, and right here I'm just going to type paint, and it should bring up paint bucket. So I'm going to drag paint bucket over to my clip, and you'll see right away that it's highlighted the entire screen on the GoPro, so that's not what we want. So what we need to do first inside this effect is grab the pen tool to draw a mask around the text that we want to be highlighted. You can just drag those points to the right positions. Alright, so there I've got the text highlighted that I want highlighted, but I don't necessarily want the highlight color to be red, so that's where I scroll down in this effect and you can change the fill color. So I'm just going to click that color right there, and I want it to be yellow. Actually, I'm going to make it a little darker so it doesn't conflict with the white in the text. That's probably a little too light still. I'm going to make it a little darker. Yeah, so that's enough that I feel like it works with my text. So if I click out of that, you can see we've got exactly what we want. But the problem is that this video clip moves. Alright, so if I drag this playhead, you'll see that the highlight doesn't move with the text. So all we need to do with that is go back into the paint bucket effect, and we've got this mask path parameter here with these arrow buttons. So if you're familiar with motion tracking inside Premiere Pro or in After Effects, you know exactly what these are for. So all we need to do is motion track this effect to the moving text, and we'll be all set. So I've got my playhead positioned right over the text where I want it, so I'm going to leave it at that position. And first I'm just going to hit this button to track that mask forward. And it analyzes as the video moves forward to keep that mask in position relative to where it started with the clip. Now that I've got it tracked forward, I'm going to back that playhead up and do the first part of the video because we can see it's not tracked to that first part. So I'm just going to position the playhead before those keyframes and click the arrow to get to the first keyframe, and now I'm going to hit track selected mask backwards. Now I don't need it any farther than that, so I'm just going to stop it right there. And it looked like my highlighted path started to glitch a little bit. So if it starts to get glitchy, like the effect blinks out right here, you can crank up the tolerance. I have it at 50. I'm just going to move that up, and you see the effect starts to come back in. But still right there, it's blinking out. So I'm going to move that up more. You see now it's overpowering the text, so what I can do is go to my blending mode and just scroll down to see what works here. And screen is usually a pretty good one. I like that. Works pretty well for this kind of effect most of the time. But you can experiment with those. And after you do that, obviously the color's changed a little bit. You can just go and adjust the color to something else you feel works better with that blend mode. I'm just going to make that a little bit darker, even a little darker than that. It's not perfect, but it's usable. I could spend more time on it, but I just want to show you the basic of this effect. Since I don't need the highlight until I bring this arrow in, that's where I want it to start. And I want the highlight to fade in at that point, so I'm just going to create an opacity keyframe right here, and then go forward a few frames and create another keyframe. Back up to that first one and drop it down to 0%. So if I play that forward, now that highlight fades in. I might make it just a little bit slower to come in. So I'm going to play that again. And perfect. So that's how you can highlight text on a video clip or on an image in Premiere Pro. And you can play with these parameters. Like if I want to adjust the feather, I can just play with that. I can make it bigger with the expansion parameter or bring it in a little bit. Up to you. But that paint bucket effect on your original clip with masking and motion tracking seems to be the quickest and easiest way I've found to make this happen in Premiere Pro.